Welcome back to Wrenching Raccoon. I am finally getting around to working on my wife's truck. What you want, Booger? I got my little helper with me. Ish. This thing needs an injection pump. And if you know anything about 6.4s, they're so much fun to work on. We're going to be remedying some of the complicated parts of working on these today. Mainly those girls right there. If you don't know, 6.4 has sequential turbos. It's got two turbos. Big one and a little one. One of them's VGT. When they work great. Gives you a fast spooling small turbo, but also allows you to flow air like a big turbo. But they're giving me fits. The injection pump is giving me fits. So I got a new Ford OE injection pump, and we're gonna go with a single kit on this guy. So should wake her up, make her pretty rowdy. The engine in this truck I built four years ago. If you can do it to a 6.4, it's just about been done to this one. D-lip, fly cut, pistons, still got the factory rods, still got the factory crank. Block's been bored 30 over. I forget what brand heads are on it. I bought all these pieces secondhand. They're all new, but they were purchased for a different truck. That truck got parted out, and then I bought this truck with a grenaded engine and bought all the biddles to build the engine. But it had full tilt. If I had the fuel system to support the engine, this engine allegedly should hold like 1,200 horsepower. I've still got the stock fuel system, factory fuel injectors, factory size fuel injectors, factory injection pump, yada yada yada. There's no fast system, factory lift pump. The fuel system is completely 100% bone stock on this truck. We try and keep it. It doesn't like to shift on the fly because of the camshaft that's in it. So if you go all the way down on one, it tries to go into like a high idle, which is very aggravating. But on 3, because there's five positions. On 3, I think it's like a 150 tune. And if I remember right, these motors made 4 or something from the factory, so that should be about 550 horse, about 1,000 foot-pounds of torque. And that's just its everyday do whatever you want it to do tune, and crank it all the way up to 5. I think it's a 310 tune, so that should put it up north of 600-700 horsepower. But the turbos are just murking it right now. So I'm gonna set you guys up. I'm gonna snatch a cab off of this thing, and yes, I'm the idiot that turned my wife loose in 1,000 foot-pounds of torque F350. The monkey is hungry.
Yeah.
What monkey?
That monkey out there.
Oh, that monkey out there. Well, go feed the monkey.
You gotta put dollars in it.
Oh, I don't have any dollars. Your mama's got all my dollars.
Let's see.
There's nothing in there. It's my phone. There's nothing in there either. I don't have my wallet, and there's no money in my wallet either. She's digging through my pockets, hunting for my wallet.
Huh?
What? I literally have no phone. All of my Granddaddy Longleg, unwanted habitat. On the 6.4s and the 6.7s, the lower radiator hose is split in half. Right there. There's that little spring clamp. Pull that out and that hose splits. This is the lowest point in the cooling system. I don't care how long you leave that drain plug out, you're never going to get all of the coolant out of it. So I'm going to put you guys out of the splash zone, and hopefully I don't take too much of a coolant bath. Hopefully. And it always comes out at Mock Jesus. They make a special tool for getting the parking brake cable barrels out of their things. I've got one at work. And it turns this finicky fight with it for 20-30 minutes into a literal 30-second job. Yay! I think my impact's up there. or lever. One of the two. Alright, let's go ahead and destroy what's left of my back. Quit looking at my butt. So much more room for activities back here now. All right, now the injection pump. Can I sit you here? Can you see anything there? Alright, I don't know when this thing shut off, but there's the turbo, there's the injection pump. We are officially tore apart. I still have some work to do to the turbo. I have to completely rebuild it. Yeah. Probably should have done that before I tore the truck apart, but the truck was not drivable. Oh no, wait, I still got to get that pedestal out of there. So we're 99% tore down. I'm hungry, hot. I'm gonna go cool off for a minute, get something to eat, charge my batteries because I am on my third battery in this camera. So we'll be back. Oh, all right. Ate me some chicken nuggets. Now we're on to this thing. So this bolts in place of the turbo mount. It's down in the valley. And then this goes here. One of those ways. Turbo bolts here. Pull out. And then the up pipes. This turbo desperately needs to be rebuilt, as you can clearly see. Oh, there we go, yeah. I have never rebuilt the turbo, so this is going to be a learning experience for all of us. actually thinking about taking a steel bar, putting it between there and tacking it to those bolts. But I don't know if that'll mess with the tensile strength of them or not. So we're not going to do that. Alright, what else can I do? I'll probably set the injection pump in place. At least do that. Maybe. Depending on if I can get that gear off of there or not. Well, I can get it off. Getting it back on is the fun part. Well, I don't feel like messing that up like I already have. More than I already have, whatever. So I'm gonna take that to work with me, along with the new pump, swap the gears out, and I can look up the proper torque specs for that pump. That's about the only thing I really care about torquing. Everything else is just, you know, German torque specs, good and tight. So I'll bring y'all along on the next adventure whenever I start working back on that thing again. So thank you for watching. Like, subscribe if you want to. Don't if you don't. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye.